Okay guys, I know it's been a while since I put a video up. If you want more frequent updates, guys, all I ask you to do is smash up the like button for me. So look, I can tell you right now, we're currently in a falling wedge. This is a bullish pattern. You can see right here, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. If we push up to the upside, I know for a fact this is an ideal point to put in a short at 40,300. Even if we push up to this point, I still believe we're headed to 34,300. Remember, a falling wedge can break to the downside about 30% of the time. So if we do drop, this is an ideal point to long. You're probably thinking, well, what the hell is this blue line, and how do you know to long this point? I will show you why this is the case. I will come back to this chart and I'll explain it in detail. There's some other things I want to cover as well. If you do want to access all these live charts, you can on my website. It's pinned in the first comment description. If you're using my BitGet affiliate link, that's also pinned in the first comment description. By the way, guys, if you're using Bybit, I would get the hell off their platform. I'll show you why this is the case into this video. And by the way, if you do sign up with my BitGet affiliate link, I will give you access to my Twitter account. All you have to do is email me with your BitGet UID number, and then I'll give you access to my Twitter. So let's go over a few things, guys. So this was a tweet I made. Again, if you get access to the charts, you get access to our Twitter and Discord. But this was a tweet I made on April 19th. So if anyone plays a Dow Jones, I would do some puts or short the Dow. And the reason for this was because I knew that this is going to be strong resistance. This orange ring up here, I knew this is likely point to get rejected. And if we come down, this is your next support, the orange ring below at 32,681. I even made a video about this, covering it in detail. This video is put up on April 19th. I'll put a link up to it now. Listen to what I said. I called my Dow Jones original chart because this is the chart I used to predict the last stock market drop. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know, but it played out. I told you that we would come down to around here. We came way down below. But what I want to point out is these yellow lines, right? These little yellow lines right here. Every time we break one of these yellow lines, we drop. We broke this one, we dropped. We broke this one, we had a slight drop. We held support on this yellow line for quite a while. What happened when we broke it? Well, we had a little drop. We came back up, tested resistance. So basically, once we broke this one, the trajectory from going up actually went sideways, right? So the trajectory changed. We didn't have a major drop, but the uptrend ended and we went sideways. Well, if you look over here, you can see what's playing out currently. When we broke this one, right, we had a drop, came back up, tested as resistance, and then we had another drop. So this is the next line in this fib channel. So the same thing. If we break this point at any point, I expect us to come down to this target. This means we'd have some downside with the indices. Bitcoin follows indices. If the Dow's coming down, chances are the NASDAQ, the S&P will come down as well, and Bitcoin follows the indices. If the indices. So again, what I was saying was, if we have some downside for the markets, the indices, we have downside for Bitcoin. And I said, if we come down, this is the point. This is your take profit, or this is where you potentially would long. And look at this chart. This is where I said to short, right here, this orange ring. We got rejected, and look where we found support, right at this orange ring. I told you it was your next target. Not using trend lines, using fib circles. And now I'm going to show you how I create a fib channel. And again, in my tutorials, the first thing I teach is about trend lines. If you understand how to use trend lines, you can create fib channels from trend lines, and then what will blow your mind is how you can create fib circles from fib channel charts. That's my third tutorial. So if you do want to access this, guys, I do have tutorials on my website. But let me just show you, just for instance, how I create these fib channels and how you can find much more accurate targets. Now, a lot of people will use fib retracements. So if you just go from the highest point to the lowest point, now this does give you some good information here. This shows you, well, you could have shorted right here, right? We did push above this point, but this showed kind of a top right here. This is an ideal point to short. And this shows it down here around 32,283 is an ideal point to long. Obviously, you break below this point, we have much more downside. And again, the reason I'm covering the Dow Jones is because the Dow Jones, again, markets tend to move together, but I'm just showing you how I use trend lines and fib channels. This is just kind of a preview what I teach in my tutorials. So what I see when I look at the chart, I see a trend line prices respecting like this. Now we did get, it did push above briefly up here, and we did get a wick above, but I see a trend line prices respecting. And again, when you understand how to use trend lines, you can find more precision targets. So if I do a fib channel, right, this is the basis of all my charts. We go from this point to this point, and we bring it down. And notice what happens here. When I bring it down, you get almost a perfect touch. Look at this, right here. Perfect touch on this blue line, and a perfect touch on this line. You need to understand that price doesn't always, it's not horizontal. Price moves at different directions. If you can map out the direction of price, you can get more precision targets, which means if we drop, it's not a horizontal, so we could come down. Your next point to potentially long on the Dow is 32,458. Again, it's an angle, depends on when you hit it. And your next point to long is down here around 31,774. So again, this shows you how you get precision targets. All of my charts are based off using this technique. Just want to show you that. So currently you can see the Dow right now, we're pushing up. Again, that's, like I said, I mean, look, you had your support level way in advance. And again, if the Dow is pushing up, then we could possibly push up from that falling wedge. Again, it would be a bull trap. I know when to short, and we're going to cover that as well. So Ben, and this is what I was talking about. So listen to what Ben said here.
It works out. Sometimes it doesn't. I sold up here. I accumulated over here. Got wrecked over here. Okay, I'm being completely honest, right?
So Ben, he sold here, did good. He bought here, did good, and he got wrecked right here. Again, so this guy with all of his math skills, he's still just playing checkers. If he would have watched my video I put up, this was on November 17th, if he would have watched this video, I knew that we were topped out. Again, guys, 3D chess. I knew that when we crossed this ring, we'd be coming down. This is the actual chart. I published this on November 14th, creating this yellow fib circle and comparing it with this blue fib circle. When we crossed this yellow one, we had a drop. Well, I knew that when we crossed this one here, this is potentially a top to come down, and look how this played out. We came down ever since we crossed this point. So Ben, you might want to start following me so you don't get wrecked in the future. So the next video I'm going to put up, guys, if you do, I'm going to cover if I do expect a lot more downside for the indices. I'm going to go in detail about this in the next video. So if you do want to be notified when that video, when I put it up, make sure you subscribe, take a notification bell. If you're a moon boy and you're hodling Bitcoin, you probably don't want to watch it. Again, I will cover Bitcoin and indices in detail. It'll be a pretty in-depth video. So the last video I put up, the last tweet I made, this is 16 hours ago. I was talking about this falling wedge. And again, just like I told you earlier, if we push up, the next point I'm going to short is this white line. If we drop, next point along is this blue line down here. But I was going to show you how we were able to find the exact top. Now we know that this is resistance. This is our resistance above. So if you push up, this is a point you short. Well, if you're using leverage, it's good to know the exact point to short. If you push above it, you can come back down. This is just an average to know this is our resistance. But when you're swing trading, you need precision targets, because if you push above the point you short, you're losing money. So I'm going to show you how we were able to find that point. This is the so what we're going to come back to this chart, and I will show you this line here. But I did want to show you how we were able to find the exact top. This was a tweet I made, and also make the same post in Discord. This is May 1st. I said if we push up, your resistance is this blue line. Again, just like I showed you the fib channel. That fib channel I created on the Dow Jones chart. Same method here. If we push up, I know this blue line is going to be resistance at 39,051. Notice he found perfect support right here on the C1 chart of this yellow line. You can see right here, this is that blue line. And I told people in advance, watch, when you hit this point, this is the point you short. We came down. Now we're testing it as resistance currently. I will give you key support and resistance levels on all these charts, but I just want to show you the confluence. As I say, if you have matching targets on multiple charts, that's an ideal point to short. The C1 chart, blue line that I told you about, we got rejected. This was the H1 chart. We hit this literally to the damn dollar, 39,176, and came down. This was the C1BG chart. There was a moving average here on the, this is on the hourly. So you had three charts in confluence telling you, hey, 39,000, around 39,064 to 39,100 is an ideal point to short. We came down. Now again, I'll come back and I'll give you price targets. But I do want you to understand why I believe that we're coming. If we do push up, we're to short, and if we drop, we're to long. And guys, I've been talking about this way in advance. This is March 23rd. I told you how I knew this white line was a point too short because of this fib channel. We got rejected here, 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 here. So it was obvious when we hit this point, we'd get rejected. This right here is this chart, and I'm going to show you this point, why this blue line is the next point too long. But I do want to show you the published version of this chart. This is published on March 26th. As I told you, every time you hit this white line, you short. You come down this blue line, this blue ring, you long. Look how this played out. You had so many points to short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Had a point too long, and then more recently I told you to short 43,000. That played out perfectly. So that's why I said when you push up, this is the point you short, and this is that blue line. You come down, this is where you long. So let me show you why this is the case. So again, this is the M1 chart, and Again, so if we push up, just like I said, every time you hit this white line, you put in a short. Now, if we do push above this line, okay, this price target right here, let me find my price target. If we push above this point, which I do not think is going to happen, this is right around 40,300. If we get above that and hold support, maybe we have more upside. That'd mean the indices are pushing up a lot. I think we have a lot more downside for the indices, but again, we are holding support, currently pushing up. This is a falling wedge. This is a bullish pattern. So if we do push up, I will go in a heavy short around 40,300, depending when you make contact. When we make contact with this line, I short. If we drop, I'm going on in a heavy long at 34,150. Again, it's an angle, depends when you make contact. And you say, well, how do you know that that's going to be support? Again, guys, if you understand how I create these charts, I've already mapped out the direction of price, and I've already mapped out your support and resistance levels. That's how I knew this is the line too short before we ever hit it. And that's how I know this is the next point too long if we come down to this point. So let's zoom out, and I'll show you why this is the case. Let's go all the way back. You see this blue line. So I'm going to draw a white line. You see right here, look at all of this support. This is back on the 5th of December 2018. Look at all that support. Perfect support, right? And this goes even further back. I just don't want to go that far back. Let's just come all the way over here. Look, you got perfect support right here. This was on the 18th of December 2019. Let's bring it up more. Look at all that support. Resistance, resistance, support. So we know, again, when you know the direction of price, you can map out targets way in advance. So we know your next support level too long is right here at, again, when you make contact, if we drop straight down, that'd be around 34,000. If it's out here, it's 34,400. And we know if we break that, well, where's the next point too long? Well, let's follow this red line. This red line goes way back. I mean, it goes even further back. I have to go way out, way far back. But again, look, this was support right here. And bring it out. You can see, look at all that resistance. Perfect resistance right there. So this is a trend line that price has been respecting. Look at all that support. So you know if you do break below that point, this is the next point you long. Again, that is the point of using fib channel charts. You can't just use horizontal lines. Price moves at an angle. If you can map out the direction, you can give key support resistance levels way in advance, way before price ever gets there. So the next point you long is 34,400, around that area. If that breaks, the next point you long is this line right here. Just showing you how that works. And I've already showed you every time you hit this line, this is where you short. So that's how I know if we push up, again, falling wedge bullish. So if you push up, you want to short 40,300-ish. And again, these are the points you would long. But I do believe we have a lot more downside. Again, when you watch that next video, it'll make more sense. So let me give you a key support resistance levels, but I do want to mention, guys, real quick, the reason I use Bigot is because they are legal to use. They obtained a license in the US, Canada, and Australia. You do not need a VPN to mask your IP address. You know if you're using Bybit, using a VPN, you're already masking your IP address. You can use up to 125 times leverage on Bitget, trading Bitcoin and just about every altcoin there is. But if you're on Bybit, guys, you need to. I'll put the terms of service. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. But right here, it says we do not. This is Bybit. We do not offer services or products to users in a few excluded jurisdictions, including the United States, mainland China, Singapore, and Canada. And it says right here, right in the terms of service, it says you understand and acknowledge that if it is determined you've given false representation of your location or place of residence, which if you're using VPN, you're doing exactly that. The company Bybit reserves the right to take any appropriate actions with compliance with local jurisdictions, including termination of any account immediately and liquidating all open positions. So they can close your account, liquidate your positions, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're using their exchange illegally. So get the hell off of Bybit. Use something that's legal to use if in the US and Canada, which is Bitget. That's why I chose them in the first place. I did not want to use a VPN. And again, you get 125 times leverage. And like I said, if you use my Bitget affiliate link and you email me with your Bitget UID number, I'll give you access to my Twitter account. So let me give you key support resistance levels. I've already covered the M1 chart. I already told you, look, we're already pushing up now. If we push up, the point you short is 40,387. I'll show you why a lot of other charts are in confluence with that. And again, this is the next point I'll be longing. This is the M1 chart, around 34,240. So the H1, C1, C1BG, guys, these are the charts for smaller targets. You can see we're just now pushing above this resistance. And this is the exact, let me make this bigger so you can see it. This is the exact same white line on the M1 chart, right? That's why I have this big white arrow saying down, short. So if we push up, if we push straight up today, the point you want to short is around 40,360. If it's further out here, 40,200. A lot of confluence on the chart just showing that this is a top. I've already showed you that M1 line. Every time you hit it and you shorted it, you were in profit. If we drop, I know for a fact, this is your next key support. You can see this yellow line right here. This has been a lot of support and resistance. We do push above it, we drop below it, but you can see price has been respecting this line. We did have some wicks below. We had some wicks below here, but you can see we had a perfect touch right here. So if we do drop, the next point too long, potentially 36,900. If it's out here, it's 36,721. It's in your best interest to have access to the chart, because when you make contact depends on the price. Your closest support level below is going to be right here at around 38,188, and if that breaks, your next support level is around 37,725. Guys, take a screenshot if you need to. This here is the H1 chart. Again, this is where we got rejected literally to the dollar. These are for, if the H1 chart is for smaller targets, I created this fib channel just like I showed you previously on the Dow Jones. Your current resistance right now, 39,212. If we push above that, well, your next resistance to scalp a short trade is 39,528. But again, guys, look at the confluence here. If we push up this white line that was a lot of support and resistance going back, 40,120, 121. Out here is 41,200. Right up here is 40,600, guys. There's a lot of resistance between 40,200, 40,300. Ideal point to put in a short. And if we drop, this line right here has been a lot of support and resistance. So your next major support below is down here around 37,973 to 39,909. And guys, as I teach in my tutorials, always connect wicks. I connected these wicks right here. You see we found support right here, and that helped us find the ideal point too long right here. Let me find a price label here. Right here, again, if you connect wicks using trend lines, you can find points too long. So that's where we bought them. So this is your next major support. If we break below 37,923, your next point to potentially put in a long is 36,992, depending on when we make contact. Just showing you how to play the charts. But the most important thing I'm trying to show you guys, this is the C1BG chart. You know, you can see that we've been respecting this yellow line here. Your next support is right here, 37,670. Notice all of these targets are matching. If we push up, well, I wonder what this is. What do you know? Around 40,340 to potentially 40,288. Depends when you make contact. So what I'm saying is, if we push up from that falling wedge, I will be going on and I'll be doing a heavy short around 40,300. And if we drop, even if we push up to this point, I will be shorting down to this target, and I showed you why this is the case. So this is where you long, 34,200 around that area. If we break to the upside, falling wedge, bullish pattern, markets are up, this is where you put in your short, 40,387. So guys, that's pretty much it. If you do want to access these charts, you can on my website. The link will be pinned in the first comment and description. If you use my Bacon affiliate link, that's also pinned in the first comment description as well. And if you want to learn how I create these charts, I have 3 tutorials. They're about 45 minutes each. I teach you about trend lines, fib channels, and fib circles. But guys, that's it. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.